What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today what we're going to be doing is mastering the song we made on the last video. We mixed some vocals. The video before that we mixed the beat, and the first video we made the beat. So I ended up finishing the second verse. I mixed the hook, the second verse, and added some ad-libs, and I did some little changes. Like here I put a high pass filter so it can like make it sound a little bit different and just add variety to the beat. So what we're going to do before we start mastering is actually just meter everything and make sure we're hitting around -6 on master on stereo output. So for that, what I want to do is just go to our master, go to metering, and then go to level meter, put this at -6, add another one, and for the medium we're just going to use a multimeter, and we're going to do the same thing, just put at -6 and put this at -12 because that's what we're going to be aiming at. I'm going to move the analyzer to the TV I have here, and then we're going to go to the loudest part of our song, start here, and we're just going to be aiming for -6. So I'm going to put it a little bit more back, and then we're just going to be aiming for -6.
By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot.
Oh, actually it's back here. My bad.
You say you like my style, it's pretty wavy. You cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise.
So we're actually hitting around -3. So what I want to do is actually just bring that all down. So for that, I'm just gonna just highlight all the tracks here. So you're just gonna click shift and just push it down. Now we have everything highlighted. I'm just gonna bring it down through the fader here. So I'm just gonna bring it down probably about 3 dBs, probably about there. We just check it again.
You cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time.
Probably bring it up
what
a
we
little
have
bit.
can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life.
That's good there. I mean, we're hitting a little bit less than -6, but that's all right. I don't mind it. We're gonna push it up when we master the song, and plus it gives us some extra headroom. So now that we know that, I'm gonna make sure we highlight everything to here. Make sure you let the song die down, probably add like a second or two, so that way it transitions to the next song pretty smoothly. So now we have that. The best way to export a track personally is just go to file, go to bounce, project or section, go to PCM, and then put wave 24-bit sample rate. Just push OK. I'm gonna name it only one time, and then I'm gonna put bounce, and then it's gonna bounce to our desktop, and then we're gonna open it in a new project. So I'm gonna bounce it, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so now we have the track bounce, and I put it in a new project file. So what I'm gonna do is just meter everything again, but for that I'm just gonna put on the stereo bus. I'm gonna put the multimeter again, and I'm gonna move this to my TV, and I'm also gonna put the level meter and loudness meter. And for this, I'm gonna put this at -12 because that's what we're gonna be aiming for. We're gonna use this right now just to see how everything's looking. So I'm gonna go probably around here.
You cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one.
And as you can see, we're kind of lacking in the upper mids and the highs. So now that we know that, we could get started on mastering the song. So usually the first thing I do is EQ, and then I compress, and then I limit, and then I use ozone elements 8. So we're just gonna do that same process. First thing I'm gonna do is just grab an EQ, and the EQ I always do is just a tube EQ. And from here I use the preset, and I just use the master shine. So we're gonna put it on here, and we're gonna see if it sounds better, and then what changes we could do.
You say you like my style, it's pretty wavy. You cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life, but we could enjoy each other's company one time arrives. I might not ever see you again, but that's alright. You'll move on and find another guy that'll treat you right. But for now, I guess
Okay, so I like how that sounds. I pulled back the highs just a little bit because I want to add another EQ, so vintage in the console. And I'm using these just to boost up the upper mids, probably a dB or so, as well as the highs. But before we do that, I just want to do enhance mix. Personally, I like using presets just because it adds to the master, and then you can just make changes off of there. So we're just gonna play it back, and then we're just gonna make some changes.
You say you cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life, but we could enjoy each other's company one time arrives. I might not ever see you again, but that's alright.
So I like how it's sounding. It adds a lot to it. So now that we finished EQing, I want to compress, and I'm gonna use one compressor to actually compress the signal, and then the other compressor is we're gonna use it for color. Okay, so the compressor we're just gonna use a stock regular Logic compressor, and we're just gonna go through these to see which one makes the song sound better.
Ooh girl, can I be the pretty girl that's going?
So we're gonna put this 2-to-1, leave that, bring the threshold down. Alright, let's go.
You cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life, but we could enjoy each other's company.
So I like how this vintage VCA is sounding. So I'm just gonna move the threshold down just a little bit just to grab the peaks.
Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night.
There we go. So now that it has the peaks compressed, we could just use another compressor for the color. And personally, I like using the H compressor by Waves. And then we're gonna do the same thing, put this at 2-to-1. We're gonna do a fast attack and a fast release. We're gonna put the punch up, and we're just gonna bring this down. And it's just to add color, so we're gonna put the analog probably at 1.
Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight.
So pretty much the signal is running in through the compressor. It's getting the color and then just shooting it back out. So it also does a little bit of compressing, but I'm not too worried about that. So now that we have that, we're just gonna add a limiter to it. So the limiter we're gonna use the MV2 by Wave. So I'm just gonna put the output at 1, and then I'm gonna bring this down probably about a dB, and then bring this up about a dB, and then we're gonna bring out LUFS meter, and we're just gonna be aiming for -12, but for this we're gonna aim a little lower because I'm gonna use ozone 8, and then we're just gonna push it just a little bit.
Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life, but we could enjoy each other's company one time arrives. I might not ever see you again, but that's alright. You'll move on and find another.
So we're just gonna leave it like that, and then the last thing we're gonna do is just ozone elements 8. We're just gonna put master sys streaming.
You cannot be the pretty girl that's gonna save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight.
They want to boost probably the highs a little bit more. So now that we know that, we're just gonna go to the console EQ, and we're just gonna boost it. What is it? About a dB. We're gonna boost this up just a little bit, and we're gonna boost the highs up just a little bit, and then we're gonna redo it. And for the most part, we're just gonna use one of the presets that it has here. Personally, the presets I like using, adaptive dynamics, and then I'm just gonna bring this back just a little bit because it's always too loud. So for that, we're just gonna use the loudness meter, and we're just gonna be aiming for -12 LUFS.
Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life, but we could enjoy each other's company one time arrives. I might not ever see you again, but that's alright. You'll move on and find another guy that'll treat you right.
Let's just see how it sounds.
I could only see you one time, baby. You wanna spend more time with me, you crazy. You say you like my style, it's pretty wavy. You cannot be the pretty girl that's gon' save me. Ooh girl, I could only see you one time. What we have can only last one night. By the morning I have to go hop on my flight. Let's enjoy this time before we see the sunlight. I cannot promise you that we can have a love life, but we could enjoy each other's company while time arrives. I might not ever see you again, but that's alright. You'll move on and find another guy that'll treat you right. But for now, I guess it gotta be me. Let me roll up this weed while you get on your knees. We could go round 3, living life like we free. You say you like good boys, I'ma have to disagree, cause I could only see you one time, baby. You wanna spend more time with me, you crazy. You say you like my style, it's pretty wavy. You cannot be the pretty girl that's gon' save me. I could only see you one.
So now that we have it pretty much mastered, I don't plan on doing anything else to it. So I'm gonna bounce it, and then we're gonna use this website to check our master to see what the streaming websites are gonna do to the song. So the website we're going to be using is www.loudlesspenalty.com. The link is in the description if you guys want to use it. And all you pretty much do is just grab the master file, drop it in here. It's going to tell you pretty much how your song is going to sound in most streaming platforms. So I always like using this to always check my master. And then plus you can never go wrong with it. So Spotify is going to bring it up 2 dBs. Tidal is going to bring it down. Pandora is going to bring it up 3.4 dBs. And iTunes is going to bring it up. So now that we know that, we bring the levels up about 3 dBs. I do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna rebounce it, and then we could check it one more time. So now that I finished bouncing it again, we're just gonna analyze another file. We're gonna process the audio, and I'm pretty sure we got it this time. So we pushed it too much. Spotify is gonna bring it down 0.3. Tidal's gonna bring it down 3 whole dBs, and Pandora's gonna bring it up, and iTunes is gonna bring it down. So I don't care if Pandora brings it up, but I do care about these two personally. So I'm gonna go back into it, and I'm just gonna bring it down. So it's at 0.3, so I'm just gonna bring this back about here. I'm just gonna leave it how it is. I'm just gonna bounce it, and that's it. So this is pretty much how I master my songs, and I just pretty much use these 2 EQs, and then I compress it to get the peaks, and then I use this one for color, and then I pretty much add a limiter. If I wasn't going to use Ozone 8, I would just push this more, or I'll bring up the volume through probably the compressor here or any other way to bring up the volume. But since I like using Ozone 8 and I like using the preset of adapted dynamics, that's why I always use Ozone 8. But if I wasn't, then I'll just push the volume up another way. So I'm just going to leave the video here. I'm going to upload the song to like the streaming website. So it's going to be on like, pretty much every streaming website if you guys want to check it out. I'll put the link in the description, and I hope to see you guys in the next video where we're going to start a new song, and we're just going to start from a beat, and then we're just going to create a whole song. See you guys next time. Later.